Hey, this is Rob Woodall. I've got taxes on my mind today. No, not the kind that you have to pony up a check for. I've got reform on my mind, and that's what's happening on the House floor this first week of August. I wanted to make sure you knew about it. Two exciting things that are going on. First of all, the Rules Committee. You know, I sit on the Rules Committee. Folks say, Rob, what do you do over there on the Rules Committee? What we do is make sure fundamental tax reform gets to the floor quickly. We're moving a bill to the floor this week that lays out a framework that says if you're really going to do serious reform, I'm not talking about that silly nibbling around the edges that folks have done historically. I'm talking about serious, fundamental, and yes, you know, fair tax style reform. We want that to be able to move to the floor quickly. That bill has been reported out of the Rules Committee. It's come to the floor of the House. Huge vote for passage to ensure that if we're successful at coming together around fundamental tax reform, and you know I believe the fair tax is that proposal that brings us together, then it's going to move directly to the floor and through the Senate for passage. The other thing we're doing that's important is H.R. 8. You know, that's a bill that said, you know, those tax provisions that Congress extended in December of 2010 when we prevented the largest tax increase in American history from occurring? That largest tax increase in American history is coming again in January. H.R. 8 says, give us one more year. Give us one more year extending current law, not changing the rules, just extending current law. Give us one more year preventing that largest tax increase in history and giving us time to work on that fundamental tax reform that you and I both know is the only thing that's going to get our economy back on track again. I'm just so proud to have been able to play a role in these two bills. Again, I'm playing that role with your voting card, with the mandate of our district that says stop nibbling around the edges, forget politics as usual, don't do the thing that's easy, do that thing that's right. We've had a more serious conversation about fundamental tax reform in the short 18 months that I've served in Congress than we've had any time in the last 20 years. I believe that discussion is going to come to fruition. I don't expect the president's going to sign it this year. I expect our president next year is going to sign that bill. If you have any questions about what's going on, I know sometimes in the area of taxes it gets confusing. You know I'm available to you anytime. You can call me at the office, 202-225-4272. That's all my tax team in Washington. Or you can email me. It's just woodall@mail.house.gov. And of course, you can find me on the web anytime, woodall.house.gov. It's a good week for those of us who believe in fundamental tax reform, and it's a good week for those of us who believe in creating jobs. There is no greater job creation proposal in all of Congress than the fair tax, and anything that we can do to help push those ideas forward, that's a step forward for American workers everywhere.